So next is a management group. So management groups. So in our first session, right, I have covered subscriptions, then we covered resource groups, then we have the resources. So in organization, there will be a lot of line of businesses, so many line of businesses, and each team may be having subscriptions, right? Multiple subscriptions. So what happens? So even this group, right? These subscriptions are grouped into one of the management group. Like if you see here, non-prod management group, they created one management group and they put both the subscriptions in this non-prod management group. How it works, if suppose I want to apply a group policy, something like that, a policy I want to apply, I don't want the non-prod users to create any resources in any regions except for central US. I want these users to create the resources only in the central US because I have some discount available from Microsoft partner that if you are using only central US, you will get discount. And my requirement is for non-prod it is okay. I can use and I can use only the central US. So I create a group policy and I will assign that to non-prod management group. Okay, one policy on top of this. If I want to assign the same policy without the non-prod management group, I have to either assign it to each resources, okay, 4 resources or 10 resources. One way is that. Second way is directly assigned to the resource group, which will be little more easier. When I can also assign it to dev subscription or QA subscription, more easier when compared to the first, second option. But out of all these, the best option is directly assigning them to the management group. Okay, so that is easy for us. So here is the policy enforcement, so the fifth point. So that's what I was trying to explain. And the first point says create up to 6 level to match organization structure. So these are 6 levels, root management. Okay, let me. So 6 levels are like this: root management group. This is a root management group. Division level, department level. So division and department level are like another management group, and the department can be also it can be either a management group or a subscription. Okay, environment level, it can be a dev or QA. Project level, again each project may be using a different subscription or a different resource group. It depends on how they have planned. And at the subscription level, all these 6 layers you can cover up. And so it will using this management group, these levels are covered. Inheritance is so policy, if you are applying on like a non-prod management group, those are applied, those are inherited to underlying resources. It goes to subscription and gets applied on that, then it from subscription to resource groups and to that resources. So policies and access management, access passed down to all resources. Bulk management is the third point. Manage multiple subscriptions together. You can manage multiple subscription together. RBAC, you can assign role once and inherit by all child resources. That is RBAC inheritance. Policy enforcement, which we just spoke about. Central control, one place to manage policies and access. So this is the one place to manage policies and access. And next is RBAC. Mm, So you have any questions on this management groups?
No.
So this is just like resource group. It is a logical container. One more logical container just helps us to, hierarchy, inheritance, all these things, all these 6 points which I mentioned.
Got it.
RBAC is next. thing, role-based access control. So it gives a fine-grained access to the users. It helps us to provide that fine-grained access to the users. Close to 1,000 plus RBAC roles are there. If you go and search, a lot of RBAC roles are there. Read, write, contributor, owner. Apart from this, there are many. Read, write, contributor, all 4 or 5 are there, which are like common across on-premise and cloud. But in on-premise, there are 1,000 plus roles in Azure. Okay. Helps you manage who has access to Azure resources, what they can do with those resources, and what areas they have access to. So in RBAC, we will assign the role to a user or to a group or to a service principal or to a managed identity. All these four together are called security principle. So a security principle is an object that represent a user, a group, service principal, and managed identity that is requesting access to Azure resources. You can assign a role to any of these security principle. So we can assign a role to any of these security principle. To what we can assign? So it has some scope. So when we are assigning that security principal some access, so it is scoped with in either of these four. Like you can scope the permissions to the management group or to the subscription or to the resource group or to the resource. And scope, service principal, and role, these three together are called role definition. So role definition will have um, the scope to which resource you are giving access, and role, what kind of access, reader, writer, or whatever it is, that role, and service principal, whether it is a user or a group to whom you are giving, or to a service principal are you giving, or a managed identity you are giving. These two I will cover tomorrow. I believe user and group, um, I think it's very, I think we know, right? So the other two I will cover tomorrow. And so altogether role definition will assign. So there is one lab. So manage subscription and RBAC. Create a management group that includes all your Azure subscription granting permission. So let's go and see it together. I will open the link. So the first step is creating management group that includes all your Azure subscriptions. So if you want to open the management group, you can go ahead and type management. So you can see management groups, click on that. So in the management groups, you get an option to create. You can see there is one management group already there. That is a root group that comes by default as soon as you create a subscription. And your subscription, the first subscription, will go by default and sit into the root group. I'll create a new management group, MG, I'll say MG 100, MG, I'll say tech lines. Management group, submit. So it is creating group. Meanwhile, I'll go back to the page. So it says the task one is implementing management group. So we need to go to the blade of management group and click create. And we just now created with a different name. It says to create AZ104-MG1. And this is the display name. So it says, did you notice the root management group? The root management group is built into the hierarchy to have all management groups and subscriptions fold up to it. So we can see all the new management groups or the subscriptions under this. This root management groups allows for global policies and Azure role assignments to be applied at the directory level. After creating a management group, you would add any subscription that should be included in the group. So my if my group this group is created, right, I can also add subscription to this. So right now this subscription and this management group are under the root. If I want to move this subscription to this management group, I can do that. If I add, I think I need to click on this, then click on add subscription. Just click on add subscription, then refresh. Yeah, I need to check here, or let me go back and check. So you see now the subscription has gone and sat below this. Okay. And if I want to move, I can move back to other management group, but I don't have any other management group. I just have the root group. So I can move my subscription back to the root group. I'll do the refresh. It went back and sat under root group. So we can also move the subscriptions to the management groups and move across between the management groups. If you don't want to assign that to any management group, we can keep that under the root group. That we can do. Did you
Yeah, I got
understand?
it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. And next is task 2 is review and assign a built-in Azure role. So here it goes to IAM, and I'll show you. So once this management group is created, you have the option of IAM, Identity and Access Management, from where we can assign this RBAC role assignments, add add custom role. I think that's what it says. Yeah, select add role assignment. We'll go back and add role assignment. We'll just follow this lab and says view permission JSON. Virtual, so it says to give this role. Okay, I'll go ahead and check for this role, virtual machine contributor. So here it is. I will click on view just to check what kind of accesses it has. So this built-in role, virtual machine contributor role, has these. So it can do all this. It can read policy tokens, deny assignments, and all this under Microsoft authorization and compute. It says it can get availability sets. I mean, it can see the availability set or delete availability set. All these roles it can perform under compute. So individual role and everything we can see under um, each type. So this is type, and these are the permissions. And if you want to see all together, you can also see here. So it says role name is virtual machine contributor, description, permissions, what it has. So you can see authorization. So at the end, you can see whether it is a read or a write or something. So what action, some actions you can take. and some are write actions. So all these you can also see from here in JSON. In the end, assignments, add assignments. That means the members and all we can add. Okay, then I will say, click on next, select members. I will add the group, SSO group. I've selected the group. Review and assign. So the third task, so this is about the second task. Okay, this is about the second task, what we have done just now. And the third task is about creating the custom RBAC role. I'll go there and check and create one. So the third task is create, not this one. I'll go to IAM. We can also create the custom role. Mm, Add custom role. Custom role name is customers custom support request. So when you are trying to create this custom role, right? So it gives us the option to clone from one of the existing role which is already there. So here in this lab we are taking the we are trying to clone from support request contributor. So let's see what kind of accesses the support request contributor has. And once we are trying to clone, we want to exclude a few of the permissions. Like from the support, we don't want s- under the support authorization, we don't want support type, sorry. So we don't want one of the role to be added to this custom support request role. So that we'll see. Mm, Custom role, then I will clone it from support request contributor. What is that? Support request contributor. Okay, I will select that. Then next, permissions. Under permission, exclude permissions. So what it already has, we want, but we want to exclude one specific one. So that you can exclude dot I think support. Yeah. So under Microsoft support, we want to exclude mm, what we have, registered support resource provider. So we want to exclude this one. And why do we want to do that? Okay, it says an Azure resource provider is set to REST operation that enable functionality for a specific Azure service. We do not want the help desk to be able to have the capability. So it is being removed from the cloned role. So here in this lab, right, he is trying to create one specific role called role for the help desk team. So if he is trying to create this, give all the clone everything from support request contributor, what happens, they can do some REST operations with the resources which are there, like a get, put, post, all these things they can do. So he want to restrict that particular access, and he want to so exclude that permission for the group. That is a help desk group. So this custom role is created for the help desk group actually. So he has restrict. I excluded that from Microsoft support. Then I went ahead. Then I just selected and I clicked on add. Then you can see this is added here. I click next. So you can see assignable scopes is it is showing the management group, our management group here. Okay, and then click on next, the JSON. So like how we have seen the JSON before, in the same way you can see the permissions, what are read permissions and what kind of accesses it has under. permissions block. Okay, then click on next, create. So later he is trying to check from the activities whether it is created and what accesses it has. So if you go and check the activity log, and we can see, so these are created. So he's create and update. So it says that you can check what is created under the activity log. And in the lab, it says next to clean up all the resources. So this is about lab 2. Okay, basically here in this lab, we tried to add a role assignment, and we also created a custom role with a name, and we had created that custom role for help desk operations. And we also, as part of that custom role, we cloned we cloned it from existing role, which Microsoft, um, which is an inbuilt Microsoft role. Then in that role, we have excluded some of the accesses. So basically, we tried to use the features it has, including or excluding the existing role. Um, yeah, that kind of thing. Any questions or anything?
No,
Is it confusing? No, right?
no, I got it. So we just clone the existing role and remove some of the permissions from that role and assign that role to the one of the specific department, which is a help desk.
Exactly. Correct. So, and also we have seen management groups, right? Adding subscription and moving the subscription from one management group to the other group. Uh,
Yes.
yeah. So that's about RBAC and management groups, and Azure policies. Let me go ahead and cover this also. With this, I will finish. Tomorrow we can see managed identity and another one. Is it fine, or
Yeah, I'm fine.
we still have 10 minutes, right? It's fine,
Yeah,
right?
I'm fine.
Yeah. So Azure policies. So what are these Azure policies? Uh, Azure policies are like, as I told, right, group policies we were doing, we were assigning to OUs. Similarly, that kind of feature it is Azure policy. So what it does, it enforces some standards, ensures all resources meet organization compliance rules. So, so it ensures that organizations are meeting the compliance rules. So here there will be a set of rules. That's what we should be able to understand. And controls creation, like block non-compliant resource types or settings. As I said earlier, one of the policies that I don't want my team to create any resources in any of the Azure regions except Central US. That policy I want to apply. That I can assign to my subscription or the management group, and so that makes sure that no, even if somebody wants to create, also it won't allow. So it controls the creation, improves security, enforces secure configuration and configurations automatically. So even the security can be configured from here. Manage compliance, monitor and track compliance centrally. We can do that. Control costs, so we can use tags to manage and optimize spending. So free service. So this one is a free service from Microsoft Azure. There won't be any charges if you are using Azure policies. So any rules you are applying, all these are free. So no charges for this.
Yeah, it's included in our subscription, right?
Yeah, it's included in our subscription. There won't be any additional charges for this. Next is a resource lock. Resource locks protect resources with Azure Resource Locks. Purpose is to prevent accidental deletion or modification. Like I have a production, and my SRE engineer, if he logins and sometimes by mistakenly if he deletes right? And it should not allow. So unless he goes and unlocks, then he can delete. Even this unlock permission, it's up to us whether to give to everyone or not. Okay, the scope is here is you can apply these locks to subscription or lock to resource group or to the resource level. And lock types are two types. Cannot delete. Resource can't be deleted. So you can use cannot delete if you do not want to allow anyone to delete the resource. Read only is resource can't be changed or deleted. That means modification is not allowed. Next is inheritance. Child resource inherit parent locks. So if I assign this lock to the resource group, the resources under the resource group will inherit these locks. Precedence, most respective lock applies if multiple exist. So if you have applied lock to subscription and some locks to only few resource groups, I have 5 resource group in subscription. I have assigned only one lock to one of the resource group. But at the subscription, I have assigned the lock. Then here, um, the precedence will be taken by the subscription. So whatever is applied by, on the subscriptions will be applied to all the resource groups because it is subscription stays on top of resource groups. Did you understand this topic, this line?
Yes.
Yeah. And next is access. You can set this via portal or CLI, PowerShell or ARM templates. So let's see the lab. Here, what he is trying to do is he is trying to create a group policy, and he's adding these two tags. Then he is going to Azure Policy. Then he's creating a rule, and the rule is uh, to not allow any user to create any resource if he is not adding tags. So if I'm creating a storage account, I have not added tags, then it won't allow. So let's see task 1 and 2 first. Task 1, I'll go here, home, resource groups. I'll go ahead and create a resource group. I'll say taglines RG. Next. Tag, I will say this environment is dev. Cost center 100. I'll say next. Create. My resource group is created. Now I'll open policies, policy. Yeah. So once you type policy, you can see this. So under policies, definitions. Okay, I will go back to the lab manual and let me check what I have. Tags I have created, enforcement. So in the definitions, you can see all the tags. So I just want to check require a tag. I want on resources. I require a tag on it on resources. I think that's what he has selected. Require a tag and its value on resources. Yeah, this one. Okay, assign. You can click on assign policy. Then I will say scope is I want to assign to my resource group. The scope is my resource group. Now that I have only one resource group, it says all selected. Select. Then I don't have any exclusion. I want to keep this as it is, require a tag and its value. If you have not selected or if you want to change also, we can change from here. But we already selected that. Then assignment name is require a tag and its value on resources. Click on next. And parameters, I think I don't need any for this because it will just check. No, I don't need. We'll come
So
back
come down.
because I just want to check whether the tags are assigned or not. Resource
Yeah.
tag and its value on resources. Let- mm, So it says to set the parameters. Yeah, it says we need this particular tag. So I think we should give like I will say cost center is the tag. Okay, this is the tag name. Create. So the rule name is, come back to assignments. The rule is refresh. I should be able to see the um, policies here actually,
Policy
whatever
and the tag. Yeah.
yeah. By default, one will be there, ASC default, and that comes by default. Then
Yeah.
and the other all like whatever we create manually. So require a tag. So this is the policy. Require a tag and its value on resources. Tag name is cost center and the value is 0. Okay, now I will go ahead and create a storage account. Create. I will say storage. My storage account is this and preferred. Click on review plus create. So we can see this error. Validation failed with error details. Resource tech lines dev storage was disallowed by policy. Request disallowed by policy. Require a tag and its value on resource. So this policy, the policy name is require a tag and its value on resource is not allowing us to create because there is no tag here. We did not create tags, right? So that's what the policy does. If you don't if we don't create policy, it won't allow us to create any resources. The same thing he is showing here. Then so the third task is applying tagging via an Azure policy. So basically, uh, if you are creating any resource and you forgot to create a tag to it, and I want to create a default tag like a non-prod. Environment is non-prod and the cost center is 100. Under the subscription, all the cost center, all the tags are of cost center are 100. The value is 100. So if I'm creating a resource and if I'm not putting tag also, it should this policy should make sure it assigns tag to the resources. So that is the task 3. Apply tagging via an Azure policy. I'll go back to policy and assignments. Let me delete this. Delete assignment. Now from here, I'll create assign policy. Scope is same. I will select subscription. Resource group is techlines RG. Policy definition. So let me check the policy. Inherit a tag from the resource group if missing. Yeah, inherit tag. I just typed inherit. So from this list, it says inherit a tag from the resource group. It says inherit a tag from the subscription if missing. I remember creating a resource group with tags, right? So for this lab, I will select this inherit a tag from the resource group. I will click add. I will not touch anything. By default, it is giving the same name, inherited tag from the resource group. Parameters. I'll not put anything here. Next, think we need to add this, create a remediation task, which runs and assigns this policy. Then next, I think I missed something. Tag name. Okay, I will put cost center. So it says the cost center tag to be assigned and review and create. So once you click on review and create, there are two notes I can see in the lab manual to verify from that the new policy assignment is in effect. You'll create another storage account in the same resource group without explicitly adding the required tag. So without adding the tag, even we tried before, that didn't allow us to create the storage account because we had a different policy, which has actually stopped us from creating. But now that we created that policy, it should allow us to create. And existing policy will add the tags. So that is what we are trying to do. And so it might take 5 and 10 minutes for the policy to take effect. Okay, that's all right. So what we will do, we'll create a storage account, then we'll wait for some time. So the expectation is that the cost center, this value, right? The tag should be assigned to the storage account. So this policy is ready, which we just created. Then I'll go back and create the storage account. Click next. I won't add anything because it's not needed for this lab. We are just checking the tags. And I did not add any tags here. I will just go ahead and create. So meanwhile, it gets created and the tags get added to this account. We will check. I will go to the next lab, that is resource logs. Configure and test resource logs. So what are these resource logs? So once we go to any resource, you will see, like I went to resource manager. Somewhere I can see log. Now this one. You see this option logs. So I don't want anyone to delete this. So I can log this resource group. I'll go ahead and click on add and log name is RG log and I will say delete. Read only is for modification. Delete is it should not allow anyone to delete. I click on add. So now this log is created here. This is available. And what resources I have in this? I have a storage account. First, now that we created this log, let's try deleting this resource group. So it gave an error. The resource group tech lines is logged and can't be deleted. So I cannot delete the resource group. And we also learned that these logs are inherited to the resources as well. Let me try to delete this storage account and I'll say copied It gives a warning here. Tech lines can't be storage can't be deleted because this resource or its parent has a delete lock. Lock must be removed before this resource can be deleted. So I cannot delete. And you see this tag just now it got added
Yes.
cost center 100.
Yeah.
So the policy ran and it added this tag here. You can also check from here tags. And I'll go to the resource group and let me remove the lock and try to delete. Where is this lock?
It went up.
Okay, it is up. I think I need to go to resource group. Lock. So I'll go ahead and I get an option to edit. If I want to change also I can change. Read only I can make. That it now it is read only. Lock type is read only. But I want to delete the lock and delete the resource group. Now I'll go and let me try to delete the resource group.
I think it went through.
Yeah, it is in the notifications I see it is deleting resource group tech lines. Yeah, it went through because
Yeah.
we don't have any logs now, right?
Yes.
So it went through. So in automation, right? So what we have done, like when there are multiple tenants in organization, so generally what we do is the first thing when you are trying to do the deployment or anything, right? The first thing, the first task is to remove the lock. Then you do the
Hmm.
deployment. Then, if it is only delete, it's fine. Sometimes it will be read only. During that time, you need to remove the lock, then do the deployment, then, assign the lock back. Generally, we will create a function, right? So those functions will run. So these locks are
Correct.
very important. They are very much used, especially in production. These logs should be added. Okay, so this is about logs, and yeah, that's all. That's all. So it just says to delete the resource. So these are the labs, and so we are done for today. And tomorrow, what I will be covering. Um, so we have covered management groups, RBAC, Azure Policies, Resource Group, and we did the lab, right? Tomorrow we'll check the service principal managed identity. Uh, Most of them, if we go for Azure interview, they will ask about service principal. Is very common one. One must have good knowledge on service principal and also managed identity. They will ask what is the difference between service principal and managed identity. People will
Okay.
also ask about Azure policy.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll cover this service principal managed identity tomorrow, and also Azure container registry, and I'll cover the key vault tomorrow. All the
Okay.
four topics. And most probably this week we'll close Azure topics.
Azure sessions. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Any questions, Amar, before we end the session?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.